In this video tutorial, we're going to be looking at phonetic sound changes in Hiragana, and you'll find this information on page 12 in Unit 1 of your workbooks. To change the sounds of certain Hiragana, you add a ten-ten. And there it is on the letter ka, those two little lines there, they're called ten-ten. And you add those to some of the Hiragana rows to change the sound of the letter. And I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, here we've got ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Now over here I've got them again, but I'm going to add a ten-ten to each one. And then we're going to see if we can work out how the sound changes. Basically, the left-hand side, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, the normal hiragana, they're pronounced with a burst of air at full strength. So it's like a little explosion in your mouth. Ka, that explodes out. Ki, ku, feel the explosion in your mouth when you try and say it. Ke, and ko. Now what we have to do when we add a ten-ten is reduce the amount of air which we're pushing out of our mouths. So instead of an explosive ka, it becomes a gentle ga. Instead of an explosive ki, what do you think it becomes? Gi. If you said gi, you were right. Ku. Reduce the volume of air and you get gu. Ke. Halve the amount of air that you expel and you should get ge. And ko becomes go. Now when we write these hiragana in romaji, then the letter that you use instead of a K is a G. They become ga, gi, gu, ge, go. The next group that has sound changes is the S row. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Over here I've already added the ten-ten. Let's see if we can work out what that sound becomes. It's the same rule. Instead of an explosive sa, we're going to reduce the amount of air. Try that and see whether the sound you come up with is za. She. This one's slightly tricky. This one actually comes out as ji. She, ji. Su is easier. It becomes zu. Se becomes ze. And so becomes zo. And this is what they look like when you write them in romaji. Here they are. Za. Now this one you need to be a little bit careful of because you write it with a J. Ji, zu, ze, zo. The next group is the T row. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Now over here we have them with the ten-ten, but you'll see chi and tsu are missing. That's because at this stage of your Japanese learning, we're not going to be using those two hiragana letters with ten-ten, but we will be using ta and te and to. Now using the same principle we spoke about, let's try expelling half the amount of air when we say ta. Did you get da? Te. Did you get de? And to becomes do. Da, de, do. And this is what they look like when you write them in romaji. D-A, da, D-E, de, and D-O, do. Next we have ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Okay, little explosions. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Now when we reduce the amount of air, ha, hi, it's a little bit tricky this one and I'm probably going to have to tell you. It changes to ba. You can hear that softer, can't you? Ha, ba. If you didn't add the b sound though, there really wouldn't be much difference between ha without a ten-ten and ha with a ten-ten. So they make it ba. Ba, bi, bu, be, bo. And this is what it looks like written in romaji we use B. Ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So we've looked at all of these sound changes that we have in our workbooks. But if we scroll down, we see that there's one more thing that we can do. You can also add a maru, and that's a little circle like that one there that you see on the hiragana ho. You add them to the H hiragana row to change the sound in a different way. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. And over here you can see we've added a maru or a circle. And this is a little hard to guess, but ha with a maru actually produces an even stronger and more explosive sound. So ha becomes pa. It's positively pushed out of your mouth. Pa. He becomes pi. Then we get pu, pe, and po. And here we have the romaji that we use to represent it. Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. And that's it for the hiragana sound changes.